Hey there, happy Tuesday. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Turn that light off. So, today is buyer tips. Last week we spoke on the first two steps in the home buying process, which was selecting your realtor and getting pre-qualified for your mortgage. There are 10 steps in this whole process. So today we're going to talk about step 3 and step 4 in the home buying process. This is the fun part of buying a home, and it's selecting properties to view. And yeah, it's the really fun part. You know, you get to go look at pretty houses and you get to see what you love and what you don't love. And if you're just joining us, saw some of you come on. The third step in the home buying process is to select the properties that you're going to view. Now, a couple tips for that. So the most important thing in that is determining the location of where you want to be. Yes, if you go further out, you're usually going to get more bang for your buck, and sometimes you'll fall in love and you'll make that sacrifice, and then you get frustrated because you ended up going too far out when you knew you should have stuck with your location. So you want to make sure you find the location that you want to be in. The next thing when you're selecting properties to view is you want to know what your budget is. So that's going to go back to when you talk to the lender. And let me just say one thing about that. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. I know this girl doesn't want to be house poor. I like to go out and do things. So just because that piece of paper that the lender gives you says you can, doesn't mean you should. Talk to your lender, your financial advisor, your realtor about how much you would like to spend each month and what makes you comfortable, and then work backwards. So next thing on picking homes to view, check out the school zones. If that's important to you, then there's such things such as great schools. I really like the Virginia Department of Education report cards. If you just Google exactly what I said, Virginia Department of Education report cards, you can see the objectivity, right? You can see it's very objective. It gives you the scores and what have you. So, and you should be, even if schools aren't important to you because maybe your kids are grown or you don't have any children, they're still important because of resale. So you want to take that into consideration. You're going to want to think about how big your home's going to be, the square footage. Here's a little tip though. Sometimes a 1,700 square foot home can feel bigger than like a 2,200 square foot home depending on layout. So just keep that in mind. How many bedrooms do you want it to have? How many baths do you need it to have? My husband and I, when we bought our home, we made one crucial mistake. We really wanted 3.5 baths. We have twins, and we thought, oh, well, we'll just get by on 2.5. It's perfectly fine, right? First world problems, having more than one bath. That said, it's a little bit of a pain for us, and it sometimes makes us think about moving because as our kids are becoming teenagers, that's kind of a fight for us. So how many bedrooms do you want your home to have? How many baths? Another big thing, what will you compromise on? There is no such thing as a perfect house. Even no matter what your budget is, there's still not going to be a perfect house. There's always going to be something. What are you going to compromise on? I wouldn't compromise on location because you just can't pick up your house and move it. So maybe the house doesn't have granite, but that's something that you can put in later and you love the flow. So I say look at location, then look at layout, because the layout can't be easily changed either. Sure, sometimes you can take down walls and stuff, but that's not an easy fix. Easy fixes are cosmetic things. So maybe the house has carpet and you wanted hardwoods and it's perfect other than that and you haven't found another home. Consider that because you can do hardwoods over time, get some equity put in the house by sweat equity, doing it yourself. If it doesn't have granite, that's something you can easily add. And then what are your deal breakers? What is it that says, nope, I'm not going to buy the house unless it has this? You know, a lot of people say not having a first floor master as they get older is a deal breaker. They want to make sure that they don't have to go up a set of steps. Well, if you bought a house, if that was your wish list and you said that was a deal breaker and yet you bought it anyway, let me tell you how unhappy you're going to be in the next few years. So the third step in buying a home is selecting the properties to view, and those were some of the quick tips. The fourth step is actually going out and viewing those properties. So a couple things to keep in mind, and then we're going to wrap this up. You're going to want to wear comfortable clothing and shoes. just trust me on that one. If you're looking at, I never recommend looking at more than 5 or 6 homes in a day. I've done it where I've shown 12 and it gets to be tiring for all involved, and then you can't remember what's going on. Bring along some snacks and some drinks, especially if you're bringing the kids along. I will tell you, it's an interesting thing bringing kids along. I like it for a certain age because I like involving children in the process. I've moved several times with my kids, and involving them in the process has always made them feel like they have some ownership in it. That being said, when they were too young and we took them home shopping, because we've bought several homes, they were all over the place and then I couldn't concentrate. So just a side note there. Be prepared to act quickly when you find the one. So Richmond right now has about a 3-month supply of inventory, which leans toward, well, it's a seller's market. 6 months is a balanced market. Anything over 6 is a buyer's market. Anything under 6 is a seller's market. Now that is going to vary from area to area, but in general, we have a 3 to 4 month supply. So what does that mean for you? When you find the one, you need to be ready to act. It stinks when you think about it. So you're like, okay, I got to think it over. Well, that person that went the day before thought it over and they bought it out from under you. So you have to be ready to act, and that goes back to step 1 and 2. You need to have had your realtor with you, and you need to have had that pre-qualification letter because it allows you to act quickly. Bring your checkbook in anticipation of an offer, because there's something called EMD. That's earnest money deposit. That's the amount of money that you're willing to lose once you get into a contract if you decide to walk away for no reason at all. It's basically the amount of money that shows a seller that you're serious. Have the checkbook with you so that we can write that offer right away. And most importantly, and step 4 of the home buying process and viewing properties, have fun. It's your very own house hunters. You get to go in, you get to see how other people live, you get to dream a little bit of, maybe that's not your house, but what you would do, and it's just a really exciting time. So now we've covered step 1, realtor, 2, mortgage, 3, selecting properties to view, and then 4, actually viewing properties. Next Tuesday, we're going to do the 5th, 6th, 7th, we're going to do 3, and that's going to be writing an offer to purchase, negotiating terms, and accepting the contract. And y'all, I wrote this handy-dandy 16-page ebook. It is the home buying process, your guide from contract to close. If you would like a copy, either message me or put it in the comments. I've already sent out some last week. It's free. Happy to send it to you. And if you have any questions, you can either put it in here in the comments so everyone can benefit, but if you're a little shy, feel free to send me a message and I will answer your questions for you. I will be back here on Thursday for more seller tips because remember, buyers are Tuesdays, sellers are Thursdays. But in the meantime, I hope you all enjoy the wonderful weather. The snow held off, the sun is shining, and it's a great day. I'll talk to you all soon.